everyone's got their run fits, and then in the pass game, everyone's containing and rallying to the ball.
I think you guys have been pretty good at rallying the ball this year. It's obviously key in this game. You got to shut down every angle you can, right?
Yeah, I mean that's skill players like they have. We're gonna need 11 heads to the ball on every snap, so it's gonna be crucial that every guy in the field, as soon as the ball's thrown, as soon as it's handed off, everyone's swarming.
Has there been any ceremonial, burning of last year's tape? Now, I know you guys watch it and you guys go through things every week, but has there been any okay, that can't happen?
Yeah, I mean I think if that ever happened, it was that next week before we played Michigan.
Right.
So I think as far as that, obviously, we were humiliated after that game, and human nature, you want to avenge that loss, but and truthfully, you got to look at it objectively. These are two new teams. We're both 3-0, and we're both trying to win Saturday night.
Anything you remember from the plane ride home, except it was very, very late?
Yeah, I mean it was late, and it seemed like it took a lot longer than it was. I mean it was a miserable ride. No one. I think everyone in the program was embarrassed. We didn't feel good about how it went that night.
How much did some of the comments that were made after the game by one of the Penn State players, stick with you?
For me personally, I don't really like to get into that stuff too much. I know a lot of people talk about, pre-game, post-game, bulletin board material type stuff. Personally, I don't look to that stuff for motivation, really. I try to focus on what I need to do each week to prepare and what I need to do to help the team win. As far as I know, I don't know of any guys who are really caught up in, that was last year. That's two different teams. This year it's totally new challenges.
In a weird way, was last week really good for the defense in that I think Anthony played 17 snaps. You played half what you usually do. Was that good for you guys? You guys kind of got him, I don't want to say a blow in the game, but just kind of...
Well, yeah, I mean, the way our offense played, it really helped the entire defense lighten the load on us all. But yeah, I mean, I think anytime, you're fresh, more recovery, stuff like that going into games is going to help.
Your offense is 9-minute drives. I know they're hard to get to. Is that, would one of those in this game go a long way?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, they're a really explosive team, and having them on the sidelines is going to help us tremendously defensively. I think our offense, that's their style of play. They can certainly do that.
You guys have done well in underdog role before. Why is that? Why do you guys feel like you guys do well in that position?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say kind of because it might be the nature of the program, the type of guys we recruit. It might be easier to embrace that role. But yeah, that's something that going into any game, you just got to believe that you're in the fight. And I think right now, certainly everybody believes that this is a winnable game. We do what we can do, and we're going to come out on top.
I remember talking to you before the Michigan game last year. You were probably the most, I don't want to say you were super confident, but you were pretty optimistic you guys could beat them. Why was that? I'm talking about the Michigan game.
Yeah, and that's what I think. That week I was saying stuff kind of like, that's the beauty of sports. Is that there's a reason they play the game. Michigan were on the field at the time, got about 2 or 3, and we were coming off that ugly loss. But I mean, that's why people love sports. That's why sports is so fun to play. It's so fun to be a spectator because anything can happen on any given night. And that's why you got to play the game. Otherwise, they just scout everybody out and just simulate the year on a computer or something. So I mean, that's what's drawn to it, and it's that kind of that belief, that attitude has a way of trumping talent and strategy from game time.
What about, do players feel the electricity from the crowd at night games? You guys have done well in the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you feel that?
Kinnick, obviously, the fan base in Kinnick is unbelievable. Anytime you're in there, it's an advantage for us. I feel like I feed off the energy. But night games are really electric. Everyone who's been there, whether it be in the stands or on the field, you can feel the energy in the air. And that's something that, as a player, it gives you confidence. And it gives you, some energy that you can almost, take into your game with you.
With AJ, he gets hitting the quarterback penalty. Looks like he kind of gets shoved in. Do you guys have to have a conversation with him after that, because he's a young guy?
I mean, I remember just on the field telling him just don't back off at all. I mean, he was just rushing hard. He was just playing hard. And sometimes that comes with the territory of playing hard. A lot of coaches, I've heard mentioned, if you're last in the league in penalties, it might be because you're not playing aggressive enough. I mean, a few penalties are okay if you're playing aggressive, and I think that was one of them. He was just playing hard, and I just remember telling him, just let it go, just keep rushing, don't back off at all.
That's just part of the learning process for a kid. Don't take a step back because that happened. Just make sure you keep.
Yeah,
going.
and he said, he said to me, I'm not slowing down, I'm not doing anything different. He had the good mindset, but that's what I said to him after.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had no problem with it. Mentally, he moved on, which was something I was pretty glad to see.
What kind of growth have you seen from him through 3 games now that he's had a couple under his belt?
Yeah, I mean, every single day in practice, he's improving, technique-wise, knowledge of the game-wise. But yeah, that's what I've been really impressed with, his maturity and just how he approaches the game of football. He approaches it, kind of with a veteran mindset.
What was it like playing against Barkley last year?
Yeah, he's obviously an extremely dangerous back, and you just got to focus on doing your job to make it easier for everyone else in the defense. If you take care of your assignment, that's going to make it crystal clear for the guy behind you and the guy behind him. So, going into a game like that, that's what it's about. It's about playing team defense. It's not, one-on-one matchups. One guy's going to stop him. It's the entire team.
What did he do in that game that you walked away from with lasting impressions?
Last year's game?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, his ability out in space, just to make people miss. Obviously, as a running back, that's your job, and he's very good at it. So I think, defensively, we're just going to try to keep him from breaking out, getting his long stride going.
How do you plan for McSorley this weekend, and what challenges does he pose?
Yeah, I mean, he's an extremely elusive guy, so play breaks down and he's out, he's down the field. That can pose a lot of trouble. So as a defensive line, we're just trying to stay in our rush lanes and not give him opportunities to kind of, play playground football like that.
When he does start playing playground football, what do you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes into, effort just playing through the whistle because, I mean, things are going to break down. He's going to, escape or something, but it's going to take everyone on defense. Just, continue playing, continue your rush, get enough blocks, and, swarming to the ball.
How's the secondary going to do against Penn State?
I don't really have an answer for that. I mean, we're practicing. That's probably a question for the coaching staff. As far as I'm concerned, I trust our guys in the back end, and right now we're working on preparing for them, and we're going to be ready to go Saturday.
Is it something that more pressure on the quarterback would help them out?
Yeah, I mean, anytime in the pass game, coverage in the back end and disruption up front, they go hand in hand. They play together. So I mean, if one group needs help, the other group has to pick it up. But usually, big plays caused on either end are from solid play on the other side too.
How close is this